I didn't particularly want to make this video, but I feel that I really need to. When I was very young, I grew up completely secular. I had a friend who there was no hint of his Judaism at all. There was pork in the fridge. There weren't mezuzahs on the doors. There was a Christmas tree at Christmas time. Um, when we were about 16 or 17, after he left school, he ended up having a non-Jewish girlfriend, and he became very close with her. And he kind of separated from us as a group, and we all found it very difficult, etc. But I remember so clearly him telling me that when they would get into an argument, she would just resort to calling him a filthy Jew, a disgusting Jew, Jew. There was no hint of his Judaism whatsoever, but to her there was, and that always stuck with me. That stuck with me for until today. That was 30 odd years ago. We're seeing today, right now in the world, something that we're really familiar with if you look back through the annals of history. And it's not about Israel. We can see that it's not about Israel. It's about being Jewish. So we're being hated for being Jewish. And even if it's concealed under certain logical reasons, which aren't even that particularly logical, but it's really a hatred for the Jew. So I thought I should try and explain what is a Jew and why this is happening and what is our response to this. I'm going to try to compress around 25 years of very intense learning into hopefully less than 5 minutes. Bezrat Hashem. So a Jew is a human being with what's called a neshama. A non-Jew is a human being. But a Jew is a human being with a neshama. What's a neshama? A neshama could be compared to a sparkle of light on the ocean. When you're looking at the ocean and you see on a sunny day, endless little dots of light, okay, that could be compared to a neshama. So the source of that light is the sun. We'll call that God in our analogy. So a Jew is a human being with this little kind of reflection or hint to God within him, her. And the point of being a Jew, the reason why Hashem made Jews was that he could come into his world. Okay, he made this world, the reasons for which could be debated, but he made his world, and what can't be debated is that he is desirous of coming into his world. So he created an avatar for himself. That's called a Jew. Now, this world has an independent reality, or a seemingly independent reality, so that we can actually become genuine partners in this project with him. Because if this world didn't appear to be something other than Hashem, then we would be compelled to serve him, and we wouldn't be considered genuine partners. So he created this world that has an apparent independent existence so that he could come into this world. And as I said, the avatar that he created for himself to do that is what he called Jew. The means by which the Jew brings God into this world is called Torah and mitzvahs. We could call that the will of God. So when a Jew performs a mitzvah, it's not really that a Jew performs a mitzvah. A Jew becomes part of a mitzvah. The mitzvah is, for example, to put on tefillin. The mitzvah is not to have tefillin. The mitzvah is that a Jew puts on tefillin. So you need the tefillin and you need the Jew to put them on. It's not that he's doing the mitzvah, he becomes part of the mitzvah. When we do Torah and mitzvahs, that allows Hashem, so to speak, that's his infinite humility, that allows Hashem to come into his world, and that's what he wants. Why? We could talk about that for a long time, but that's what he wants. What's happening in the world right now, which has happened dozens, hundreds of times, thousands of times, I don't know, hundreds of times over the course of history, is the Creator calling us back to him. That's what it means that we're the chosen people. He chose us for this mission, that we should be his avatar to bring himself into this world. And he can't have it any other way. So he's calling us back. That's what's going on. That's what's gone on every single time. And this is the biggest example. We saw the previous example was in World War II. But this is much bigger. The world is a much smaller place now. This is the time when Hashem can, the whole world, World War II wasn't really the entire world, but now we're seeing the whole world. This really is the final calling. He's calling us to come home. Okay, so I mentioned this to my dad. And he was like, "Oh, what should I do? What should I do?" And that's absolutely true. And I'm thinking that as well. And I realized what we have to do. And I'm talking to you, to secular Jews here. I'm talking to the Jews who don't believe in God, who don't know about anything. The frum Jews have a different thing that we need to do. There's still a lot to do. What is it that we can do? We can just start moving towards him. I'm not telling you to take on Shabbos and to take on family purity and start putting on talis and tefillin, okay? What might be quite helpful in the process, though, is to stop eating treif meat if you're doing that. But what I'm suggesting is start moving towards him, because that's what he wants. He wants us back, and we are going to go back to him. Whether we go back smiling and running, or whether we go back kicking and screaming, we are going to go back to him. So let's try and make this as easy for ourselves as possible. Okay, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, it's irrelevant. It's got nothing to do with you. It's about him, and he needs you back. So I realized, let's just start moving back to him. How do we do that? Let's start to learn a little bit. Take some time out every day, 20 minutes, half an hour, instead of being glued to the news and whatever it is. Start researching. Go to Chabad.org, I think it is, or Aish.com, or any of those kinds of websites, and start nosing around. Start moving towards him, and I know that he will start bringing you towards him. If you start moving towards him, like it says, if you make a little hole the size of a needle, then he will open up a door the size of what you see behind me over there. If you make the size of a needle, he will tear that into a huge, huge opening, and you will merit to go back to him and to stand in the place that he created for you in creation, for all of us in creation. And then you'll see all of this craziness. It will just disappear. It will go away, and we will end up in the situation that Hashem originally desired, where him and his creation will be one. B'ezrat Hashem. It should be very, very soon, and without any more pain. B'ezrat Hashem. Okay. Everyone should be blessed. B'ezrat Hashem.